Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. I got a lot of cleaning stuff out here on my bench this evening, and I thought I'd do a video talking a little bit about the cleaning items that I use for my defensive implements, kind of some of my mindset on how I go about cleaning and maintaining that stuff, and then show you guys a little bit of the stuff that I use and how I organize that stuff. And the first thing that I'm going to mention is I don't clean everything spotless every range session. I will typically do a deep cleaning on the stuff that I use pretty regularly, maybe once every 6 months. The stuff that doesn't get used very regularly, maybe we'll get a good deep cleaning once a year. Stuff that I carry every day, that stuff will get looked after more frequently, maybe once every 30 days. That stuff will get wiped down, checked, re-lubricated, make sure there's no lint or anything that's gotten into that, because that stuff is out, being carried by me or being, tossed in my truck or whatever. And I have every type of cleaning implement you can imagine. I've got all the different rods from the different companies over the years, and there is differences in the thread patterns on them. So, I mean, I've got old Hoppe's brass rods, which were actually really good back in the day. I've got Outers aluminum rods. I got military surplus rods. All of them got typically different thread patterns. I've got adapters for a lot of stuff, adapters for larger brushes, for like muzzle loaders, shotties, that kind of stuff as well. And then I have stuff like chamber brushes. I have the little slots to put little pieces of cleaning patch in. I've got pretty much all of that stuff. I will typically use some type of manufactured wipe down rag. I'll show you one of those here in a second. And then for more disposable stuff, cut up t-shirts. If I want more of a wipe down thing for disposable, I'll use cut up socks, those kind of things. And as a general rule, for my quick maintenance after range trips, I will use bore snakes. And I have multiple different bore snakes in different sizes here. And then I will typically keep the bore snakes in something like this. This guy here is my old one that I'm actually going to replace. This is actually a flambeau one. I've got a Plano one here that's a replacement. These are the trays out of tackle boxes. You can see the little slots there where you can put the cross pieces in. I don't use those. I discard them, and then I use these long slots to store the bore snakes in. And one thing about bore snakes, and I'm going to share with you guys here, is I will typically, not on every caliber, but I will typically use the next size larger to make sure that I get good contact with the brush and the cleaning material that these guys are made out of, when I pull that through the barrel of these different defensive implements. I'll give you a perfect example here. I will typically use a 40 for a 9 or a 38/357 because it just does a better job of cleaning the grooves in the rifling, removing that kind of stuff. And I have done that for a really, really long time. And as long as you don't do something really crazy, like try to pull a 45 through, a 32 or something like that, you're going to be okay doing that. The same thing with certain rifles. Like I will use a 270/7mm bore snake to clean like a 243. The two that I keep pretty much the size that they are 30 caliber and 22 caliber, because there's nothing quite close to those that I feel comfortable pulling through the barrel. So for 22 long rifle or 5.56, I'll use just the 22 ones, and then I'll use a 30 caliber for like 30-06, 308, 7.62 by 39. That'll get the straight 30 caliber bore snake. And I don't shoot any corrosive stuff. I always try to get the non-corrosive ammunition. I do have a little bit of corrosive stuff here, but that's just more for collector type stuff than it is for actually using. And then I will take a Sharpie and I will write across the top here so I can keep my caliber sizes separated. And then the last slot will get some type of commercially manufactured cleaning rag. They used to call these like tri rags or whatever. And, or silicone rags is another thing that these things were called. And then I will keep a small bottle of some type of lubricant in there as well. I like these small bottles from the CLP or whatever. I will keep these when I get these. When these run out, I will actually refill these, because I love these small little bottles, because I have them everywhere and all kinds of stuff. That way I don't have to have, you know, a big spray bottle or whatever with me. The big spray bottles and stuff stay here at the workbench, and these smaller guys and these smaller tubes that are kind of reusable, these guys will go, this size will like go in a range bag, and then this guy will go in either like cases or the small trays and stuff that I have here. Shotguns I'm going to mention real quick too. I have separate stuff entirely for muzzle loaders. That's a whole nother probably video. I'm not going to touch on that too much, but for shotguns I use a big old fluffy squirrel tail like this. These are actually called a Tyco tool, and these can be washed just like the rest of the bore snakes. These can all be washed, and when these get really, really dirty, I will take a little bit of dish detergent, I will take a little warm water, and I will just basically hand wash these. The same thing goes with the bore snakes. The only time to me that when a bore snake wears out is when these brushes that are part of the weave on the bore snake, when these start to wear out, then I will replace them. And as a general rule, you don't have to replace them too often. And another thing, these bore snakes get clearance quite a bit. I have seen these clearanced at a lot of the different major retailers, Walmart, Menards, whatever. And I will typically purchase an extra one if I can get a really good deal on them. And my new box is going to be this size right here. This is a Plano 3600 box. I'm going to pull this right off right now. We don't need that on there no more now that I showed you guys the size. I'm going to pull these guys out. I really don't need these for anything. And you can kind of see here the new tray that I got here. Then I'm just going to grab one of my Sharpies, and I am going to set this guy up. I got the latch. I got the latches down here in the bottom, and I got the writing on the top. So I'm going to set this one up the same way. I'm going to do my 22. Then I'm going to do the 270/7 mag. I'm going to do the 30, the 40, and the 45. And that's what those guys look like right there. And now this is all set up to take my bore snakes here. And I got them all separated. Okay, there's the 40, and like I said, I have had the best luck using the 40 in the 9mm 357 38. You know, cleaning out the cylinder on a 38 revolver, or a 357 revolver, or the plethora of 9s that I have. And 22 and 30 cal, because I shoot them quite a bit, I have extras right in here. I'll use 2, and then I will switch them out because they get used quite frequently. And again, the 7 mag 270, like these guys right here, these guys can go they go really well with a 243 as well. So if you got them more of a hunting calibers, they are good to go. Here's my 22s. And the 22 ones here, I'm going to show you something on as well. Where the cord meets this part right here, I will typically put a drop or 2 of CLP on this, or Slip 2000 or whatever kind that I'm using, or Ballistol. I'll put a couple drops on this part right here while I'm pulling that through. That way you'll get some of that lubricating material in the rifling, and that'll help with subsequent pull-throughs on these bore snakes as well. Plus, it will just leave a fine coating in there that actually protects the barrel. I am actually pretty, most of my serious use defensive implements have chrome linings in them, and I think that chrome linings for, for what I use stuff for is sort of important. And then here's my cleaning rag. Get that in there. And then my little bottle of CLP. And then that's what that guy looks like. Now, the perfect thing about this is I've got an actual Craftsman toolbox over here with the different drawers in it. Now, this sits perfectly down in those drawers. So now I'm perfectly organized. I can pull this out. I can access whichever one that I need, and then I'm good to go. And one other thing with these Tyco tools, I do something very similar with these guys as well. Usually these guys will have a little pull-through fuzzy tail in here that'll hook on the end of that. These I also will keep CLP on. So after I pull that tool through, push that through the barrel multiple times, this is good for both 12 and 20. And I will pull that lubricating mop through at the very end to clean that. Another thing, when I get into a real deep cleaning on my stuff, I will typically wear some type of nitrile gloves and make sure that I really wash my hands good when I'm done. And the reason for that is family history. One of my grandfather's brother, my grandfather had multiple brothers. One was killed in World War I, but his younger brother worked in the war plants during World War II down in Detroit. So Dearborn, Wyandotte, Westland, all those suburbs, he worked in there. And later in the 60s, he was a machinist, tool and die guy. But later in the 1960s, he developed a type of skin cancer on his hands. And that was because of all the solvents and everything that he was, where he was around and what he used during World War II. And that, that shortened his life quite a bit. And it was because of the work that he did with all them cleaners and solvents and all that chemicals that he was exposed to, during the war. So, when you're cleaning stuff, you're, loading up your mags and that kind of thing, make sure that you have some kind of protection on your hands. And as soon as you're done, make sure that you wash and scrub your hands really good to get that stuff off. Anyway, wanted to share this with you guys here, kind of how I keep my stuff organized here and how I use it and some of the mindset behind that stuff on the workbench here. Anyway, this is Modern Refugee. I appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys always get some information, some entertainment out of my videos, and you guys have a good one.